Alrighty, folks, welcome back. We got game two of this three-game series between the A's and Tigers. Excuse me, leading all four of the A's. Jimmy Dykes playing shortstop, batting second and playing third base. Frank Home Run Baker batting third, playing first base. Jimmy Fox batting fourth, playing left field. Al Simmons batting fifth, playing center field. Wally Moses batting sixth and doing the catching. Mickey Cochran batting seventh and playing right field is Bing Miller. Batting eighth, playing second base. Max Bishop. And on the mound, doing the pitching for the A's and batting ninth is Lefty Grove. Now let's take a look at the home team starting lineup. Detroit Tigers. And we got leading off for the Tigers, playing left field is Ty Cobb. Batting second and playing left center field, Harry Hellman. Batting third, playing right field is Al Kaline. Batting fourth, playing first base is Hank Greenberg. Batting fifth and playing second, Charlie Gehringer. Batting sixth, playing third base, Ray Boone. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, Harvey Kuhn. Batting eighth and going to catching, Frank House. And on the mound and batting ninth for the Tigers is Dizzy Trout. Let's go down here to the stadium and get this game started, folks. And to lead it off here for the A's is Jimmy Dykes. Jimmy batting 156, 2 homers and 2 RBIs, going up against Dizzy Trout. His third start of the year. He's 1-0 with a 5.14 ERA. Here's to pitch to Dykes. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Dykes out for out number one. That brings up home run Baker now with one out. Nobody on. Baker batting 297 with a 0 homers and 6 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Cobb makes the play for out number two. And double X, Jimmy Fox is up now. Fox is batting 258 with 3 homers and 9 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Boone. 1, 2, 3 goes the A's. To the bottom of the first we go. A's nothing. Tigers coming back with Cobb, Hellman, and Kaline. And you can see the team comparison that Philadelphia A's are 5-10 with 64 runs scored on 21 homers, no stolen bases, and no called stealings. Tigers are 9-5. They've got scored 71 runs, 18 homers, 4 stolen bases, and been caught 5 times. Cobb is batting .339 on the year with 2 homers and 8 RBIs. And he's got all 4 of the stolen bases and been caught all 5 times for the Tigers. So it's a one-man stealing machine there. Lefty Grove is making his 4th start of the year. He's 1-1 with a 4.5 ERA. Here's the pitch to Cobb. And Cobb gets a hold of this one off the lefty. And that ball is driven into left field, folks. And he's going to run for a while. Cobb is a brown-eyed, handsome man turning for third. And he's in there with a lead-off triple. Cobb down at third. Nobody out. And no play back here. They'll give up a run here and try to have only 1 run score. And Hellman's up, batting .256, a homer and 5 RBIs. And that'll be against the lefty team. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Simmons has got a great arm out there. To roll another die here. And it'll be a 28, and there's no way Cobb's going to try. That ball's not deep enough. So that'll be a fly ball out the left. There's one down. Runner still at third. And now K-Line comes to the back. K-Line, he is batting .286 on the year with 5 homers and 13 RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls and might not be a bad move. That'll set up the double play. They'll play back with Hank Greenberg up first and second and one out. See if they can get out of this leadoff triple with nobody scoring. And Hank is batting .212 on the year with a homer and 7 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. And 25 on a 5 should be fielding column 1. I would think so. And it is. And that was a 19. Yeah, 19. And that's going to be out at first. And a runner. Well, let's get the right base chart here. That's going to be a single through third. And the runners are going to advance one base. So Baker can't come up with it. That's a single in the left field. And we got first and second now. One out. And the Tigers are up 1-0. And Charlie Gehringer up now. Again, the A's looking for that double play ground ball. Gehringer's batting .229, no homers and 6 RBIs. And that's going to be against the lefty, 25. And that's going to be a single in the left field. K-Line will score easily, I would think. Let's see here, 57. Yeah, he's going to score. And Greenberg's going to stop at second. So that's an RBI single by Charlie in the left. And still first and second and one out. The Tigers are now up 2-0 as lefty's getting spanked around a bit here. Ray Boone's up batting .260. He's got 6 homers and 18 RBIs on the year, folks. And he's going to get another base hit. This one in the left field. And Greenberg, let's see if he can score here. He's got decent speed. A 32. I'm going to try to throw him out. A 32 is a 62 or lower. And he's in there. So that's an RBI single. And again, it's first and third. And now it's 3-0. Lefty still looking for that second out here. Harvey's up. And Harvey is batting .224. He's got a homer and 3 RBIs. And that's another base hit in the left field. They're just blasting these base hits in the left field against lefty. And again, Charlie's going to score. And still first and second. And they go out to talk to lefty and ask him, what the hell? Says he's got it. They're like, well, then get the damn job done. He's got Frank House up now, only batting .056. Again, looking for that double play ball. And that's going to be popped up. Infield flies in effect down the third. Baker makes the catch. That'll be out number 2. But here comes the 9th man to come to the plate, and Dizzy Trout. Dizzy's 0 for 5 on the year, and he's going to be 0 for 6. That's a ground ball down the third. He'll go to short way over to second, and that'll end the inning. But the Tigers score 4 on 3 singles and lead this game 4-0 as we go to the top of the second. A's have got the work cut out for him already against Trout. You got Simmons, Moses, and Cochran due up. Al's batting .353, 3 homers and 16 RBIs. And we drop a dice. Now it's an official game. And let's see here. See what Simmons is going to do. He's going to square this ball up, folks. Al Simmons is going to get on here with the leadoff hit, and that's going to be a triple in the left field. Simmons is aboard here, trying to cut into this lead. And the Tigers, obviously, with a 4-run lead, will play back here. Trying not to have a crooked number on that board. They'd be happy with a leadoff single, only 1 run will score. And Wally Moose is struggling on the year, batting 133, no homers and 1 RBI. And that's going to be a pop-up out in center field. That should be 52 and a 2. That's going to be fielding column 3. And we'll re-roll a dice. 3, 57, and Simmons to score with no throw here. Yep, Simmons will score, so that'll be a sacrifice fly by Wally. And that makes it a 3-run game. It's now 4-1 with 1 out and nobody on. Mickey Cochran comes to the plate now. And Mick, he is batting 179 on the year. He's off to a slow start. No homers and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Charlie. Over to Hank for out number 2. As Aaron Reed joins us here. Check out Aaron Reed's channel, folks. Bing Miller comes to the plate, batting 234, 2 homers and 4 RBIs. And that's going to be another ground ball. This one down to Boone. And that'll end the inning. But the A's do get a run, make it a 3-run ball game. It's 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the second. All 9 men came to the plate in the 9th, so we got the top of the order due up again. Cobb, Hellman, and Kaline. Cobb tripled, came in to score his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball. This time Baker comes up with it. Fires over to first. And that'll be out number 1. And up to the plate now is Hellman. And Hellman, he flew out to left his first time up. And that's going to be against the lefty. 19. And that's going to be a ground ball. Nope, that's going to be a swing and a miss. Lefty strikes him out for out number 2. Maybe lefty's going to settle down after that rough first inning. Kaline walked and came around to score back in the first. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Kaline is aboard here with a 2-out single. And Hank Greenberg's up now. And Hank, he singled and drove in a run and came around to score back in the first. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Bishop. He tosses it over to first. And the Tigers strand 1. We go to the top of the 3rd. It's a 4-1 ball game. Got the bottom part of the order due up here for the A's. Bishop, Grove, and Dykes. Max is batting a .159. He's got a homer and 3 RBIs. And that's going to be well hit in the right field. That drops in front of Kaline. And a lead-off single by Max Bishop. And Lefty Grove comes to the plate now. And Lefty is 0 for 3. He's going to try to bunt Max down the second. And that's a nice bunt back to the mound. Dizzy's only play is going to be over to first with Charlie covering. That'll be out number 1, but the runner does get in scoring position. Trying to cut this to a 2-run ball game. Jimmy Dykes, he struck out his first time up. Excuse me, against the righty. That'll be a 17. And that's going to be a single in the right field. And Cobb doesn't have that great of an arm. It's an average arm. Out there and right. That'll be a 42. 26. And Baker's up a 26. Did we send him? 52 or lower, we're sending him. 52 or lower. We want to send him. And he's barely in there. Nice throw by Cobb, but Bishop gets that hand in there. So that's an RBI single by Jimmy Dykes. And that makes it a 2-run ball game. Now you got Dykes down at first with 1 out for Mr. Home Run Baker. And Mr. Baker is 0 for 1 today. He's flown out the left. Here's the pitch to him. And that's going to be against the righty. 17. And that's going to be a nice play down there at short by Harvey. Just robbed Mr. Baker of a base hit. 46 and an 8 should be fielding column 1. Nope, that's going to be barely fielding column 3. 2. And they'll get the batter out, but the runner will get down to second. So now you got a runner in scoring position here for Mr. Fox. And Jimmy is 0 for 1 today. He grounded out the third. And that's going to be a infield here. I think a 34 is fielding column 2. Yeah, 34 is fielding column 2. That's going to be a foul out behind home plate. House makes the catch for out number 3. But A's score 1 and make this a 4-2 ball game. We go to the bottom of the third. We got Gehringer due up, followed by Boone and Kuhn. And Charlie's 1 for 1. He singled and came around to score back in the first, drove in a run. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And that'll be out number 1. And Mr. Ray Boone steps up to the plate. Boone had an RBI single back in the first. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. 2 ground balls, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. And Wally's up now. What am I doing? Not Wally. It is Mr. Coons up now. We'll get it straight. And Coons singled and drove in a run his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out the center field. Wally makes the catch. Try that. And that'll be out number 3. We go to the top of the 4th. And we got Simmons, Moses, and Cochran due up here. Al tripled back in the second, came around the score. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Dizzy strikes him out for out number 1. And Moses is up now. He had a sacrifice fly his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Charlie at second, over to Hank for out number 2. And it's up to Mickey to get something started here in the 4th. He grounded out the second his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, a 1-2-3 inning. To the bottom of the 4th we go. And you got House, Trout, and Cobb. Sounds like a good meal. Trout and Cobb on the plate in Frank's house. And Frank popped up the third his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. Double X has got it, takes it himself for out number 1. And Dizzy is up now. And Trout, he grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. And that's going to be a pop up down the second for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down, and now we're back to the top of the order and Cobb. And Cobb is tripled and grounded out today. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Wally in center field. And that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Lefty. To the top of the 5th we go. We got Miller, Bishop, and Grove due up the bottom part of the order. As you can see, Phillies schedule, they got one more game here in Detroit. Then they're going to travel to the nation's capital in D.C. to take on the Senators. Then after that 2-game series, they're going to head up to Chicago, play the White Sox. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Bang out of there for out number 1. And Mr. Max Bishop now steps up to the plate. He singled and came around to score in the 3rd. And that's going to be a 17. That's going to be an infield hit for Max. He gets aboard again. So Max is down at first. Lefty Grove comes up here. Lefty's going to try to bunt him down the second. That's what he did the last time up. And a 30. 41. And that's going to be a bunt down the 3rd. And Boone's only play is going to be over to first with Hank covering. That'll be out number 2, but the runner does get in scoring position here for Mr. Dykes. Dykes got robbed of a base hit his last time up. No, he didn't. He got a base hit his last time up and drove in a run. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Charlie, and that'll end the inning. And I'll be right back, folks. Give me 1 minute here. Gotta take care of something. All right, sorry about that. Now we're back, got that taken care of. And we're at the bottom of the fifth. And we got Hellman due up, followed by K-Line and Greenberg. And Hellman's 0 for 2, grounded out and struck out. And that's going to be against the lefty. 19. And that's going to be a ground ball. Nope, that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Hellman out for the second time today. So now there's one down and out. K-Line up. And K-Line is 1 for 1. He's walked and singled. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Bishop. And Bishop's up with it. Fires over the Fox for out number 2. And Greenberg's up now. And Hank's 1 for 2. He is single, drove in a run and grounded out. And that's going to be a base on balls. Hank trots on down to first. And Charlie Gehringer's up now with 2 outs and a runner out at first. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI single and grounded out. And against a 25. That is going to be a pop up down the short. Dykes says he's got it and does for out number 3. Tigers strand 1. We get to the top of the 6th. It's still a 4-2 Tigers lead. You got the top of the order due up here. You got Baker, Fox, and Simmons. And Baker's 0 for 2. He's flown out and grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball out in front of the plate. And House, I don't think is going to be able to handle this. And nope, that's going to be an error on that Baltimore chop. That's an E2. And Baker's going to get a board here. Bring the tying run to the plate and Jimmy Fox. Let's see if they can make the Tigers pay for this error here. And Fox is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and popped up. And that's what they was afraid of. That ball is high. Kiss it goodbye. Jimmy Fox has just tied this ball game up, folks. Another 2-run homer by Double X. And it's a 4-2 ball game. And the top of the 6th, still nobody. Trout gives up the gopher ball. Now Simmons comes to the plate now. He tripled back in the 2nd, came around the score and struck out in the 4th. And that's going to be another swing and a miss. So Trout settles down after the 2-run homer. Now there's 1 out for Moses. And Wally's still struggling. He's 0 for 1. He does have a sacrifice fly here today. And grounded out. He's going to ground out again. This one's down the 1st. Greenberg's got it for out number 2. And it's up to Mickey to keep this 6th inning alive and try to get on, have the go ahead run on base. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. And not this time as Mickey squares up this ball. Let's see where it's going to end up at. And it's going to split the defense out there in right field for a 2-out double. So Cochran's in scoring position with 2 out. And Bing's up. And Miller. Can he drive in the go-ahead run? He's grounded out the 3rd and 2nd. And that's going to be against the righty. I'll make him a 17 on an 8. Yep. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Charlie. He tosses it over to Hank. That ends the inning. But Jimmy Fox 2-run homer ties this game up. To the bottom of the 6th we go. And Lefty's out there trying to hold this Tigers line up to 4 runs here. All 4 scored in the 1st. He's settled down since then. He's got Boone, Kuhn, and House due up. As you can see, the team comparisons, the A's have struck out 72 times, walked 68. hit 47 doubles and 11 triples. And the Tigers have struck out 70 times, walked 79 times, hit 29 doubles and 10 triples. Boone's 1 for 2. He had an RBI single back in the first. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Grove strikes him out for out number 1. And that's only Lefty's third strikeout of the game. And Harvey's up. He's 1 for 2. He singled and drove in a run back in the first, flew out in the third, and that's going to be a base on balls. So Harvey's down at first now with the go-ahead run for Frank House. And the A's looking for that double play ball out of House. House is 0 for 2. He's popped up and grounded out. And that is hit on the ground down the first. 35 and a 5. 35 and a 5 should be fielding column 1, and it is. And that is going to be the old double play. That is going to be the old 3-6-3 double play. Yep. Wait a second. Bats left. Yes, he does bat left. Sorry, he bats left. So it's not a double play. It's just going to be a 1-6. It's going to be a 3-6 put out. House is going to beat the throw. So that's going to be a 3-6 put out. House batting left. So now you got Trout up. Trout's up with a runner down at first and 2 outs. Sure. I think you got to pitch hit for him here. Got to try to get the lead here. So let's see who's going to come off the bench here. Most of the righties is already in the game. George Keel is going to come off the bench. See if Keel can do something here. So that's it for Dizzy. He goes 6 innings, 4 runs, 6 hits, and that'll be it for Dizzy. Let's see here. And Keel will come off the bench, George. And George is batting .500 on the year. No homers and no RBIs. Here's the pitch to George. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Dykes. He'll toss it over to second. And that'll end the inning. And it's still a tie ball game. Now we need a new pitcher here for the Tigers. You got Bishop, Grove, and Dykes due up. So 2 lefties. Like I say, Whitehill's the only lefty in the bullpen. So Whitehill will come out and face these lefties here in the 7th. So Whitehill will come out and face these lefties. You got Bishop, Grove, and Dykes due up. We'll see what happens with Lefty. All depends on what happens here with Bishop. As you can see, the A's are batting .248, 322 on base, a .463 slugging, and a .785 OPS. Tigers are batting .238 with a .333 on base and a .441 slugging and a .775 OPS. Max is having a perfect game. 2 singles in this game. Can he keep it up? And that's going to be a base on balls. He's going to walk on down to first, and they are going to let Lefty bat. They're going to let him try to bunt him over to second here. Keep him in the game. And that's going to be a nice bunt. That bunt is down to third. Only play for Boone's over to first with Charlie covering. So that'll get the job done. The runner will get in the scoring position here with 1 out. So Lefty does his job. It's up to Jimmy Dykes. Try to get Bishop in here to score. Jimmy does have an RBI single back in the third. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. 41 and a 4. And that'll be fielding column 1. And a runner will get down the third. It's a ground ball over to first. He tosses over to Whitehill. Now there's 2 outs. Baker's up with the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Baker's 0 for 3. He has flown out, grounded out, reached on an error, and came around to score. Can Baker be the hero here? Drive in the go-ahead run with 2 outs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And Gehringer, 46 and a 9. That'll be fielding column 1. And that's going to be a nice play down there by Charlie to save a run. Makes a nice play, throws it over to Greenberg. And that'll end the inning, folks. We go to the 7th inning stretch, all tied up at 4 apiece. Grove will be facing Cobb, Hellman, and K-Line here in the bottom of the 7th. Cobb is 1 for 3 with a triple. And he squares this one off against the lefty. Where's it going to land? And that's going to be a double out in right field. So Cobb's aboard here with a leadoff double to go ahead run down the second here. See if Lefty can pitch around this. He hasn't given up a run since the 1st inning. And Hellman's up. He's 0 for 3. He's flown out and struck out twice. Lefty would like to strike him out here. And a 35 infield. Five, 14, 22, 23, 31. I'll be fielding column 1. That's going to be a foul out. Down the third base line, Dykes goes over and makes the catch for out number 1. That's a big out there. And the runner stays put. And K-Line's up. And they're going to intentionally walk K-Line. Set up the double play. And Greenberg's up. So now you got first and second. 1 out. Hank Greenberg is 1 for 2. He singled back in the first and drove in a run. He has grounded out and walked in the 5th. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes old Hank out. Now there's 2 outs. And it's up to Charlie Gehringer to do something. He had an RBI single back in the 1st. He's grounded out and popped up since. And that's going to be against the lefty. 25, and that is going to be a fly ball out to Wally, and the leadoff double goes nowhere, stays at second. We go to the top of the 8th, and it's still tied up at 4 apiece. And you got the big boys due up here for the A's. Fox, Simmons, and Moses, 3, 4, 5 hitters. And let's see here. And that's going to be it for Whitehill. See who's going to come in. Bridges. Old Tom Bridges going to come in the game here. Whitehill did his job in the last inning getting them lefties out. Bring on Tommy Bridges. And this is Bridges' 2nd appearance of the year. And no record with no earned runs. And Mr. Double X, he has that 2-run homer that tied the game up in the 6th. Here's the pitch to Jimmy. And that's going to be blasted down the third baseline. off the wall down there. Jimmy Fox just missed a homer, folks. But that's going to be a double to lead off this inning. So Double X gets in the scoring position off of old Tom Bridges. And now you got Al Simmons up with a runner in scoring position. And do they want to walk? I think they want to walk Simmons, even though it's the righty-righty thing. Set up the double play, and Wally is struggling. And Al Simmons is hitting 352. So they're going to walk Simmons, set up the double play. So you got first and second now. It's nobody out. Wally Moses is up. He had a sacrifice fly back in the second, and he's grounded out twice. So can Wally break out of this early season slump, folks? And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. K-Line's out there. He's going to make the catch. And everybody's going to stay put. So that's a big out. And now a ground ball double play gets him out of the inning. And here comes Mickey Cochran. He is 1 for 3 today. He's doubled and grounded out and struck out. And that's going to be a fly ball out the center field. And Hellman's got that. That'll be out number 2. And again, Mr. Fox stays put. So going to take a 2-out base hit by Miller. Can Bing do something here? He's grounded out 3 times. And that's going to be a base on balls. Bridges has just walked the bases loaded. Everywhere you look, there's an A. Fox at third, Simmons at second, Miller at first, and Matt Bishop at the plate. And Max is having a great game here today, folks. He is 2 for 2, 2 singles and a walk as Ken Castro joins us. Yeah, exactly, Ken, exactly. And Max, can he be the hero here in the top of the 8th? Base is full of A's. Here's the pitch. And nope, that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Cobb camps under it, makes the catch, and the A's leave the bases loaded, folks. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still tied up 4 apiece. You got Boone, Kuhn, and House due up here against Lefty. And Lefty will be leading off the top of the 9th, so they'd like to see him get through this 8th and keep this game tied up. Boone's 1 for 3 with an RBI single in the first. And he squares this one up, folks. Boone is red hot. That ball is hit down the third base line. Chalk flies, and that's a leadoff double. Lefty was able to walk and get around the last one. Can he do it here in the 8th? Harvey's up now with the go-ahead run down at second. Kuhn's 1 for 2. He got an RBI single in the first. He's flown out and walked. And that's a big strikeout by Lefty, out number 1. And the question is, do you pitch to Frank House? I think you do. You know they're going to have a pitch hitter for Briggs. So they're going to pitch to House with 1 out. See if this pays off or not. And it does. That's a ground ball down the first. And I will get the runner over to third now as Fox throws the ball over to Lefty covering. So now there's 2 out. Go ahead run down at third. See who's going to come out of the dugout here. And it's going to be Frank Boland. I think he's the only righty on the bench. Now you got Sergeant Rudy York. Rudy. Let's see here. And that's who they're going to go with. Old Rudy's coming off the bench. Rudy York. There's Rudy. With a runner down at third. 2 outs here in the 8th. Rudy is 0 for 2 on the year. Not anymore, folks. That ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is out of here. Rudy turns on this one, folks. and kiss that ball goodbye. Home run. Rudy York has just put the Tigers in the lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Lefty can't believe it. It is now a 6-4 ball game. High Cobb comes to the plate with 2 outs, nobody on. He's 2 for 4 with a double and a triple. And that's going to be a single. Cobb gets aboard here with a single. He might want this game to tie up, see if he can get the cycle with a homer. So Cobb's down at first. 2 outs. And, you know, he's going to try to steal here. He's going to try to get in scoring position, make this a 3-run game. That would be a 5-20. So I think that's a 42. Yep, a 42 or lower. He's safe. And they nail him. Nice job by Mickey Cochran. Throws Cobb out trying to steal second. That'll end the inning. But the 2-run homer by Rudy gives the Tigers a 2-run lead. See who's going to come out here and pitch. You got a pitch hitter for Grove, Dykes, and Baker. They don't have a lefty in the bullpen. Yeah, there might be old Virgil coming out of the bullpen. Old Truck. The Trucks are coming, man. That's who it's going to be, I believe. Old Virgil's going to come out of the pen. And see if he can keep this game 6-4. So Virgil Trucks comes out. He's going to try to pitch this 9th inning. See who's going to pitch hit here for Lefty as he gives up the 2-run shot in the 8th. Need some base runners here. Most of the lefties are already in the game. And Ferris is going to come out. Ferris fans coming out. Try to get on base here. They need 1 base runner that can bring the tying run to the plate. And Ferris is batting .286, a homer and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out the K line for out number 1. This is Truck's 3rd appearance. He's 0-1 with a 5.4 ERA. But he gets out number 1 here. Back to the top of the order, and Jimmy Dykes. And Dykes is 1 for 4 with an RBI back in the 3rd. And he squares this one up and blasts that ball down the 3rd base line. And that's going to be a double, folks. So now the tying run comes to the plate. Jimmy Dykes gets aboard here. And Frank Home Run Baker. Can he tie this game up, folks? With a runner down at 2nd. 1 out. Baker's 0 for 1. He has flown out, grounded out twice, reached on an error, and came around the score back in the 6th. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that's going to be popped up down the 2nd. Charlie makes the catch for out number 2. And now the question. I don't know if you put the tying run on board and bring the winning run to the plate. They're going to pitch the double X. He's 2 for 4 today. He's got a double and a homer. He's drove in 2 on that home run. They're going to pitch the Fox. They don't want to bring the winning run up to the plate. Here's the pitch to Jimmy. And that'll do it. That's going to be a ground ball down the 1st. He tosses it over to Virgil covering. And that'll end the ball game. And again, the A's lose a tough one, folks. 6-4. Homer in the bottom of the 8th. We'll take a look here at the box score. Another tough loss. Like I say, they do just enough to lose the game. Always a close ball game, but they just find a way to lose. Tigers, 6 runs on 10 hits and an error. A's, 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Jimmy Dykes was a nice 2 for 5, along with Jimmy Fox. And Mr. Fox had that homer. And Max Bishop was 2 for 3, folks. Again, the A's were only 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position, left 8 men on base. How about Ty Cobb, 3 for 5 today, folks? You had Mr. Boone, 2 for 4, continuing to hit well. And look at that. The Tigers were 5 for 11 with runners in scoring position. None bigger than the Rudy York homer, folks, his first of the year. The Tigers left 7 men on base. Lefty falls to 1-2, goes 8 innings, 10 hits, 6 runs, walked 4, struck out 5, and gave up the big homer in the 8th. Trout gets a no decision, goes 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. Struck out 4, gave up a home run. And the bullpen did their job, folks. Whitehill, 1 inning, 1 walk. Bridges comes in, gets the win, pitches 1 inning, 1 hit, walk 2. And Virgil Trucks comes in, gets his first save of the year, 1 inning, 1 hit. Take a look here at the standings. Yeah, sure do. Yes, we do. Here, we'll look at the standings another way. It has run differential in it. We'll look at the standings this way. Then we'll go back and look at the leaderboard. There's your, no, it's not in there, run diff. Why isn't it in there? Yeah, there it is. Yep. What team was you looking at, Ken? Like I say, the A's run differential is a -27. Yankees a +33. Yep. And as you can see now, the Tigers are only a half a game back of those Yankees. Indians are a game back. Senators are 3. White Sox are 3.5. Red Sox 4.5. Orioles 5.5. And the poor A's now are 6 games back. Yeah, -27. -27 in 16 ball games. What's that come out to be here per game? Let's see what that comes out to be per game. 27 and 16. That's only a run and a half a game. Like I say, they're right in the games. They just can't cash it in. Have their opportunities to win. Can't get her done. Yep. Look at that run differential for the Orioles, 24. They're about in the same boat. I think that is going to be the battle for last place is the Orioles and the A's. Yep. Let's take a look at the leaderboard here now. Oh, that had run differential too, Ken. I wasn't sure if it did or not. Yeah. So like I say, Lou Gehrig leading with that 429 average and leading in home runs. Actually tied with Babe. And Ted Williams with 20 RBIs on the year. And Bob Shalke with that .4 ERA leading the American League. And Jack Chesbro, Josh, and Welsh have 3 wins. Joe Page with 5 saves. Oh, what team surprised me the most? And that's the Giants. I mean, they're 10-5, but the way that lineup and all is, I'm surprised they're not 15-0. Yeah, when they lose a game, it surprises me. It surprises me. Yep. Really, they Senators in a good way, 9-9. That's pretty impressive for them. Yeah, it's pretty impressive for the Senators. And them bums, the Dodgers at 8-9, that's kind of surprising. Yeah. The poor Beatles Pirates, they're on a 5-game losing streak. But yeah, the surprise to me, like I say, is when those Giants actually lose a game, especially with that pitching staff. That definitely, I hate to say it because everybody knows it's the stinking Giants to me, but that's definitely the best team in this series, this set. And you still got Lou Gehrig in the lead with the MVP voting, and Ed Walsh still leading in the best player. Let's look at who's hot and who's not. Joe Adcock batting .350 in 10 games, 15 RBIs and 12 runs scored. Williams hitting .353. Believe it or not, he's actually cooled down some. In 10 games, 15 RBIs and 9 runs. Lou Gehrig's the one hitting the ball now, man. .412. Last 10 games, 12 RBIs, 13 runs. Like we said, Ray Boone hitting .375 in the last 9 games, 15 RBIs and 10 runs. Boone's been the man. And here's Ken's boy, Ed Delaney, hitting .500, Ken, in 9 games. His last 9 games, 10 RBIs and 13 runs. And on the mound, old Dick Rudolph with a 1 ERA in the last 18 innings. Eddie Josh, a 1.7 ERA in his last 25 innings. And Noodles Hahn with a 1.5 in 18 innings. And Sam Gray, 1.29 ERA in 7 innings. Mel Harder with a 1.29 in 7 innings. Yeah, Delaney, he was on fire, still is. See the hitting streaks. You got Jackson, Boone, and Travis all with 7-game hitting streak. And look at that, a 12-game hitting streak for Ed Delaney in the National League. Yeah, 12-game. Goose Goslin had a 13-game hitting streak. Lou Gehrig had 11 games. Yeah. And old Elijah Way, 11 games. But right now, the current streak is Jackson and Boone. And like I say, Delaney with his 12-game, and Wheat still on his 10-game hitting streak. See what the next pitching matchup is. It's a 3-game series here. We'll back this up before I forget, and then we'll look at that. See what the pitching matchup is. And it's going to be Jack Combs going up against Newhouser. So see if Combs can at least get the A's out of Detroit with 1 win. They've dropped the first 2 by the score of 6-4 and 4-3. There was the 6-4 game, all 5-3. So they've lost them both by 2 runs. Both of them late in the contest. What inning was that? Lost that one in the well, actually they lost that in the 6th. Made it a 1-run game in the 7th. So not as late as I thought. Of course, just lost this game in the 8th inning. Alrighty, I want to thank Ken Castro and Aaron Reed for stopping by. Again, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell for reminders. Like I say, the next game on the channel will be the Philadelphia A's and Tigers. Jack Combs going up against Newhouser in the final game of this 3-game series. Until next time, y'all have a great day and take care.